Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for a little Flatline Racing Body's hometown heroes action at the Eldora Speedway. And man, it's going to be a good one. So far we have 18 guys in here, but we're missing the current point leader, Blake Chapman. But we do have someone in here who, let's see here, can we get, let's see what kind of, that 012 Bob Curtis back on the track with us this evening. For those who didn't know, he normally runs the retreads on Tuesday nights, but was in the hospital last evening. Messaged the group this morning, got checked out, all good, and it looks like the 012 already back on the racetrack with us. So how awesome is that, Bob Curtis back with us? And well, Connor, all feels right again. As I didn't introduce Connor yet, but I do have a guest with me tonight. Connor likes to join me every now and then, and I told him, man, he's good at what he does up here. I like having him up here with me. And Connor, you're welcome up here anytime. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing okay, but right now let's see, where are you at? 11th on the charts. Is that kind of a case you got in here on a later track, or as we see you get into Stephen Goldner pretty hard there? Is it just the speed's kind of washed off the track since you got on it, or is there still speed left?
I think there's still some speed. It was a mixture of I never use a qualifying set, so in practice you can test both sets. I never did. I just went and used the race setup, so there's obviously quite a bit of fuel in that race setup. So I think I'm pretty confident here. I know the line pretty well, so I have a lot more confidence in Charlotte. I'll tell you that.
Drop this box. It looks like Logan Wentz maybe the first to cross the line here. Close battle between him and Dean Reynolds. We'll follow the 118 here for lap number 1. So we're going to run the top shelf through 3 and 4. Wouldn't be surprised on lap number 2 to see him maybe try a slider line down there. I imagine that will be the quickest way around as he's 3/10 off his teammate Dean Reynolds in the 79. Stays upstairs, but Stephen Goldner takes the pole after lap number 1, and he's using that slider line in 3 and 4. Connor Ross, purple through sector 2. Connor moves up the quick time. Can he keep it? As Goldner comes around, Connor holds on to P1 for now. Let's see, we got Brian Moore Jr. currently P5. He's out there on lap number 2. Let's see if Brian Moore Jr. can knock Connor off. Doesn't look like it's slower through sector 2. And now we move on to the 8:14 of Brad Wade as he completes lap number 1. Purple through sector 2. And that's quick time for the 8:14. Found a lot of time there running the middle in 3 and 4. We just caught the end of it. The 8:14 moves on to that top step here. It's going to start P4 in heat race number 1. Connor, pretty good effort though. You were right, man. Still some speed out there. What do you think? We're going to have a racy heat, or is it going to kind of be one line here?
It's tough to tell. That top line's going to be pretty fast here, and it's still pretty fast, but the slider line, it might be slide or die.
As we get ready for heat race number 1, let's go ahead and take a look at that starting grid. Starting on the pole, the 7 of Bob DeGood, into his outside in the 05, Devo Donovan Ross. Dean Reynolds to the inside of row number 2 in the 79, into his outside in the 8:14, Brad Waite. Row number 3 to the inside is the 94 of Gary Offit, into his outside in that 012. I talked about it earlier. Good to have him back. We got Bob Curtis rounding up the field here this evening. Well, Connor, you're going to be in heat race number 2. What are you looking for here in heat race number 1?
As a driver getting ready for the next heat, which line is fastest, is they can the lines can change fairly quick, but I'm just trying to see where guys are running and what seems to give them an advantage. Sorry.
As the pace truck rolls off a turn 4, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 6 laps to go. Play at Eldora Speedway. Winner starts on the pole. Devo with a good run right away off the top shelf, and Dean Reynolds following him on by. Here comes the 8:14 of Brad Wade as well. Bob DeGood, first to 4th, just like that.
Eldora is such, and he gets in the wall there in 1 and 2, and he rides it for quite a bit. Eldora is such a high bank track and fast track. It's like Charlotte, where if you screw up, it costs you a lot of speed, even in 360s.
We watch him barrel down off of 2, excuse me. Pretty much, like Connor said there, guys, with that middle top. But now, Dino, man, he found something up there in the Hershey Kisses. What a run in that 79 as he side by side with the 5. Devo can't shut the door, and we've got a new leader going into 3.
I was not expecting that. Dean Reynolds definitely found something up there in 3 and 4. Brad Waite's kind of running that middle with slider line in 3 and 4, and he's catching Devo, but Devo's pulled away.
Yeah, I think Devo saw what Dean just put on him, and he moves upstairs. He can't let the 8:14 drive before he does. White flag in the air, one more trip around. Evo almost gets into that outside wall.
Yeah, Dean Reynolds has a lead. Devo's going to try and throw a slide job, and he just keeps it low. And Dean Reynolds wins this heat 1.
Yeah, followed by Donovan Ross, Brad Waite, Gary Offit, Bob Curtis, and Bob DeGood rounds out heat race number 1. And well, Connor, I do believe the dinner bell's calling. It's your time to go eat here. Where are you going to start? P4. Best of luck to you, my friend. And no, I muted him. He's going to be able to hear this. But you know, you guys won't be able to hear his response here. I could hear him mic up. I'm sure he said thank you. But he's probably trying to get that thing rolling, so not going to bug him again here as we go over the starting grid here for heat race number 2. Starting on the pole, Randy Shreves. And it is outside the librarian, Pat Boyce. Instead of row number 2, Brian Moore Sr. And it is outside Connor Ross. Rounding out the field in row number 3 to the inside in the 531, Armando Melgoza. And to his outside in the 4, Greg Parmalee. As the Steve King Foundation pace truck rolls off coming out of 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay at Eldora Speedway. We're underway. Randy with a good jump, able to slide up right away in front of that 41 of Pat Boyce, who disappears for a quick second. Connor Ross, he's going up there. He saw Gino do it. He knows he can do it. Up there in the Hershey Kisses on entry. 4th as he came in. Oh, Pat Boyce speeds in the right rear. Connor Ross on the literally here is going to have to tow that thing and go back at it here in the feature. But 4 more laps to go. Up front for the 56 of Randy Shreves is, well, that took out the whole 4th, 5th, and 6th. So you're looking at what's left here. Armando Melgoza way back in the distance there in 3rd place. But this is a case of not going to unmute Connor yet, but if he's listening and you got time to tow that, pull out before those other guys make sure you finish it. Because that could be the difference for you as we enter tonight's feature, as we watch him roll into 3. You see the gap to Armando back there. It is increasing, but Randy Shreves sees that white flag. 1 more trip around, and Brian Moore Sr. just experiment with some lines here. Looks low. Going to do it again through 3 and 4, but we see the checkered flag in the air. Randy Shreves wins heat race number 2, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Armando Melgoza, Pat Boyce, Connor Ross, and Greg Parmalee. Here's we get ready for heat race number 3. And my apologies if you hear the dog barking, but I think he just, you know, he wants his time too. He wants to say hi to everybody as we get ready for heat race number 3. Starting on the pole, the 36 of Barry Goldner, and to his outside in the 118, Logan Wentz. Brian Moore Jr. to the inside of row 2, and to his outside in the 30 machine, Stephen. Row number 3, it was supposed to be 2 cars, but it's looking like it's Jeff Barker all by himself. Cale Bixler not making the grid. Maybe we'll go out here late, but 789 machine of Cale Bixler not on the grid as of now. As the Steve King Foundation pace truck rolls off coming out of 4. You see the green flag. It's high. It's ready to fly. Final heat of the night here for the 360s is underway. 6 laps.
Goldner got the best start out of everyone there.
Yeah, he did. He thought about going up top right away on Logan Wentz, but, you know, not enough of a groove there to really make it happen. They're all over him here. He's going to send it into 1.
Goldner keeps it up there, and Wentz, so does Wentz, and I think Wentz is going to follow him here, learn a little, and see what he can do on Goldner in the last few laps.
You're exactly right. There's a lot of people that need to watch what the 118 just did. Sometimes when you see a guy like Goldner throw the slider on you, you let it happen, and you just try to follow him. And we're seeing right now he's not even really able to do that. already a second here, halfway, and Stephen Goldner walking away from heat race number 3, and Jeff Parker gets into the wall, and is the right front okay? It looks like it is for now.
Yeah, I was watching him there. He had a really good run through the center and kept it a little two-streak out on the wall, just like Moore did there, as Barry Goldner's closing in on Moore Jr.
Yeah, Jr. just made that little mistake, but Goldner may be catching up when he's running out of time. That white flag in the air, he gets in the wall one more time through 3 and 4. But Stephen Goldner already on the exit of 4, taking the checkered flag, wins by 2 seconds over Logan Wentz, Brian Moore Jr., Barry Goldner, Jeff Barker, and Cale Bixler. And with that, we're going to take a real quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we will be right back with your first feature of the evening here for Flatline Racing Body's Hometown Heroes. Stick around. We are back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little over 40 seconds left in warm-ups. Top 3 are currently Stephen Goldner, Brad Waite, and my man Connor Ross. Connor, what's the track looking like? What do we think is going to be?
The slider line is still fast. That's what I term my fast lap. On the top's still fast, but it's really gnarly on the entry of 3. You gotta get your left rear. You gotta keep your left rear in the slick as you get your right rear up in that fluff and try and not pound the cushion. 1 and 2 is faster on top, not as gnarly, but it's still pretty thin up there.
Oh, you got 5 seconds left to figure out any more tricks here. As warm-ups are coming to a close, and top 3 still the same. But as I say, I can't look at the points here with drop weeks, but drop weeks are going to keep it counting for. Looks like we probably are going to leave here with a new points leader. I would assume Brian Moore Sr. can make up a 23-point gap on Blake Chapman this evening, but we'll have to see here. Only time will tell as we get ready to take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole, the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and to his outside in the 56, Randy Shreves. Inside of row number 2, the 30 of Stephen Goldner, and to his outside in the 05, Devo Donovan Ross. The 558 to the inside of row number 3, Brian Moore Sr., and to his outside in the 118, Logan Wentz. Inside of row number 4, the 814 of Brad Waite, and to his outside in the 531, Armando Melgoza. Inside of row number 5 in the 09, Brian Moore Jr., and to his outside in the 94, Gary Offen. Row number 6, lined up on the inside, the librarian, Pat Boyce. Into his outside, Barry Goldner. The 0-1-2 of Bob Curtis lines up to the inside of row number 7. Into his outside, my partner up here in the booth tonight, Daddy's Money, Connor Ross. Inside of row number 8, the 513 and the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Into his outside, his teammate in the 7, Bob DeGood. Rounding out the field all by himself in row number 9, we've got Greg Parmley as no call for the 789 of Cale Bixler. Real quick, Connor, before I throw you on mute here, man, who you got?
I don't know. It's going to be tough with Goldner starting up there, but there's so many guys throughout the field. I'm going to go with Goldner. I call him washed up every once in a while now, so I hope he makes me eat my words here.
I'm going with Dino. Good luck, Connor, as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're underway at Eldora Speedway. The 79 of Dean Reynolds leads us to the green flag. He gets a good jump, able to slide up. Here comes the 56 of Randy Shreves, trying to take that momentum and come back at Dino, but we got a slider for the lead. Goldner, there are 2 cars, one's not able to park it up. He's got to fall back into 3rd, and looking down low, Brian Moore Sr. going down the backstretch. He's got Devo to his outside in that 5 machine. He needs to slide up and shut that door. He's able to do so as he enters 1. Devo crosses back down low. Connor Ross up 4 spots already, looking to the inside of the 41. They made contact in the heat race. He's trying to go by down here in the basement. He finds the grip going down the front stretch, and he's got him. The 513 out of the high side of Pat Boyce as he tries to get a run. He comes up on the 35 of Connor Ross. And now Connor looks under Logan Wentz here as Jeff Barker gets slowed down a little bit. Connor making the bottom work here early. Stephen Goldner holding on to 3rd place, but he's losing touch with the front 2 ever so slightly. And Brian Moore Sr. going to make a move coming out of 4th. And he go with a big slide into 1 and 2. He's going to... Goldner crosses back under. They're side by side going down the backstretch. Goldner with a big send into 3. Brian Moore Sr. tries to counter it down. Doesn't have the run. He's going to send it into 1 and 2 though. Does he have room? Goldner's got to back off or shut the door. Oh, as the caution flags out, Goldner may get that spot back because we didn't complete the lap. And I'll tell you what, if the 30 does get that spot back, boy, he is going to remember that slide job. And that 30 of Stephen Goldner may not be a happy camper. We're going to go back and try to see if this caution. I think it may be Bob Curtis. He's going to do a stop here on the bottom. May try to enter pit road here. We'll see what happens. Yeah, gets caught on the tires. Couldn't steer it in. Gets the toe done in time right before the leaders come. That could be nasty. But first caution of the evening. Dean Reynolds, still your leader out front, you know, in that 79. I see Sean out there rooting for FTM. Well, there's one of your FTM drivers right up front. Anxious to see here when we do take the green flag what line he chooses. If he'll take the high side or he's going to choose to go down low. Here's some of the drivers go to their line, and Dino is going to take that high side as we see him roll through 1 and 2. As the lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck, Ryan Moore Sr. is going to look to take advantage of starting behind the leader here as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Dean Reynolds with a great jump. Randy able to slide up. But now Goldner, he's stuck on the bottom. Maybe he likes that, though, for the opening 1 and 2. Can he get up in front of the 56? No, he said, of course not, Jackie. I'm going for the lead. Slide job. We got a new leader, Stephen Goldner, in the 30. Dino with the short slider. Goldner with just enough room to crack underneath here. They're side by side as we enter 3. Battle for third. Randy Shreves down below Brian Moore Sr. Stephen Goldner clears Dean Reynolds, and he's got the lead out front. That slider line in 3 and 4 is very effective right now. Goldner doesn't even enter right up against the three. He likes that middle entry there and load it in and carry all that speed. And it's a little hard for that guy to throw a slide job on you behind you. Dean Reynolds able to hang with the 30 of Stephen Goldner. He is all over the tail tank, tries to counter down, but just gets a little sideways, and now Dean's got a real rope in here and settle down as there's contact with third between Randy Shreves and Brian Moore Sr. Randy goes way low trying to save this thing. He's going to lose that spot, but able to hold on the fourth down as the 8-14 of Bradway bears in, and man, he's got a hungry 35 behind him as Daddy's Money barrels in on the top. Counters down under the 8-14. Doesn't have room to throw the slider, though, right now. He's got the 56. He's got to park it down there. Learns a little bit from Blake Chapman. Can't send it. Oh, contact! Gets to the 56 with a big slide job. They meet in the middle. No caution yet. We finally get a caution, but we saw what happened there live. Connor probably didn't expect the 56 to be there in the middle, but boy, was somebody home. And Randy Shreves, hard wreck here in the middle of 3 and 4. As we see he's running the bottom there. Connor kind of cranks it right after entry, maybe afraid to hit that inside wall, and that affected the slider. Hits him with the right rear, and Randy Shreves with nowhere to go here. Let's try to watch this from the cockpit of Randy here. We'll watch the speed. See the 56, sees nothing. Last minute, sees it, nothing he can do in that 56. Hard into the wall, and does he end up on all fours? He does. We'll be able to drive that thing in, won't have to tow it, but tough break there for the 56 of Randy Shreves. It's one of those things, you know, you need the slide job here at Eldora, and it's going to cost someone. And man, it cost the man in the 56. Definitely not the way Connor races here. He's just trying to have some fun, goes in there, throws that slide job. That's going to happen. 30 of Stephen Goldner, he is your leader, chooses the bottom. So this is where if you're Brian Moore Sr., and then if Brian gets a good jump, if you're Connor, you've got to take advantage of starting behind the leader here. As soon as he goes, you got to drop that hammer. And you got to try to make up some spots here as we'll watch the Steve King Foundation pace truck pull off coming out of 4. Watch Stephen Goldner gets a good jump there in the 30. Able to fire, get up in front. Battle on for P3 here. Connor on the bottom. Brad was in the middle. Dino's got to check up as Brian Moore threw a slider for a second. Dino's got to get on the binders. He almost got into Goldner. Brian Moore Sr. with nowhere to go. Hard into the wall, and we're under caution here at the Big E once again. Dino threw that slider in. Didn't want to get in the back of Stephen Goldner. And you see he checks up. You know, has to put on the binders. Brian Moore Sr. here. Not able to back out of the throttle in time or drive under. He tries to get in the brakes. You can see it spike around. Gets into the back of Dean. Gets it hit in the left rear by the 814 and hard into the front stretch wall. And Brian Moore Sr., he's going to have to tow. Ends up on the lid. And not the night the 558 wanted. There is Blake Chapman, the current point leader, not here this evening. Would have loved to put a bigger dent in that and, you know, really get a good finish out of a race that Blake's not here. Now, he'll arguably be using tonight as maybe a drop week after getting collected here with, when we take the restart, only 8 laps to go. So Not going to be much more time for Brian Moore Sr., even if he can get back out on the lead lap. As see Brad Wade, lead 14, he moves in the pits. Must have had some damage. So Connor Ross up there in the top 3 behind the front 2 there. Stephen Goldner, Dean Reynolds. As we go down the backstretch for the final time, we'll look to take the green flag this time by 8 more laps when the green flag waves. As the Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off, Stephen Goldner gets a good jump, and we're back underway. 8 laps to go at Eldora Speedway. Connor Ross looks to the bottom right away, just can't get the run off at 2, and Dean right in front of him, right up there, gets into the outside wall. Doesn't hurt that 79 for now. Carry on. Connor trying to make that bottom work as the 30 and the 79 hug that outside wall. Not much of a cushion up there, but those two making it work early on. And man, it's an art to rip the lip like those two are. Connor's going to go up there and join him here. See, he's up there even a little, not half a beat higher than them. And in the long run, if you can hold that off, that's going to pay off. That will find you some speed. But 3/4 seconds to make up here. And as we come out of 4, we're only going to have 4 more laps to go. Dean Reynolds has stayed right with that 30 machinist, Stephen Goldner. Gotten a lot better in these wing machines, and I picked him for a reason. Can Dino pull a haymaker here? 3 more trips around in that 35. He's starting to reel him in a little bit. We're seeing Connor creep up into the picture, throwing slide jobs into 3 and 4, but 2 more laps to go. Guys are running out of time here as Stephen Goldner brings us down the backstretch here. All in a line in 3 and 4. Connor has found some speed, but man, he gets into the wall. Or no, he doesn't. He disappears. He's back. Final time down the backstretch. Can Dino go for a big send? He's going to put it up top. Goldner protects. He slides up. Dino and Connor, maybe they make some contact somehow. Gonna have to go back and look at that. But Dino loses P2. Connor comes home P2. And Pat Boyce brings home his first, I believe, podium of the year here for the Hometown Heroes division. And, well, we're going to have to go back and try and see if we can take a look at what happened here with Dino. So Connor goes to try to throw the slider, but Dino there, and well, Connor blinking right as that happened, but man, Dino with a hard right rear there. We're going to go back. We'll watch this in the E-car here. See, you get to see what Dino sees live. Just all of a sudden, he's gone. Gets a little bit loose there, and it's getting fed dinner here. Tough break for Dino, but not points racing. I'm sure he'll shake that off. And he's going to be a guy that we're going to want to watch here as a contender in the 410s later on, that's for sure. See if we can find opening green flag here, and we'll give Pat Boyce a minute or 2 to get on up here in the booth as we unmute Connor Ross. So Connor's back here, and still waiting on. I can pull up Pat Boyce myself actually here. I can do some work as we'll got the 41 here with us. Pat, Shaggy up here in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I got a copy, Shaggy.
Well, man, is this your first podium of the season here in the Hometown Heroes?
I think might be the second.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I shortchanged you. I said it was the first one. I thought it was, but either way, Pat, gotta feel good, man. You know, you're riding around that last lap, and all of a sudden you find yourself in third. But talk to us about your race, man. You started 11th. You go up 8 spots. It had to be quite the exciting venture.
Well, it was trying to find the right place to run on the track. It was really slick getting up against the wall, and down low it was skidding pretty slick down there. And I started running like middle way, finding the dry, and it seemed to work out.
Yeah, I'd say so, man. You know, sometimes it seems like that middle starts to rubber up, and you know, you talked about it. You're able to find that there, and then you get your dry patches coming off in the middle of the corner. So, Pat, you made the middle work. Congratulations, man. Big podium for you. You're going to be running the 410s here next?
Yep. We'll try.
All right, Pat. Well, hey, man, hopefully I'm talking to you again after this one. But before you leave here, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank the Coast2Coast Racing League, the broadcast, of course, and the ad bands, and Young Guns Creations, and the sponsor.
Yeah, we got Flatline Racing Bodies on with us
tonight.
Flatline
Racing Body, yep.
Well, congratulations, Pat. And like I say, man, hopefully I'm talking to you again after the 410 race, brother.
All righty, thank you.
We'll move him down to the waiting room, and now pull up my man, Connor here. Connor, you got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, we both know that's probably not the way you wanted to get P2, so I'll let you start the apology now.
Well, first off, I gotta say sorry to Randy Shreves. I knew he was up there a little bit, and then I got a great run off the bottom, and I didn't realize we were 3 wide. Went to throw the slider, and I got too close to that inside wall and kind of had to jerk it right. And before I knew it, I right reared him. So that was all my fault. And Dino, I knew Dino was going to run the top, so I figured if I threw a half slider right up to the middle, I'd be safe and he could drive around me. Well, whenever Dino and I are side by side, it's bound to happen, and it happened. And unfortunately, it took him out. So I'm sorry, Dino.
Yeah, definitely, a slider from far away, but it's compromised with him getting a little loose and coming back down to the middle. Definitely, it's not like you tried to go up there and blast him, but, sometimes that happens at Eldora. You're going fast. You got to react quick, and sometimes not always able to do that. But at the end of the day here, Connor, you're able to put yourself here on the middle step of the podium, man, so that's got to feel good.
No, it definitely does. It was a fun race racing from the back half of the field, and there were a lot of fast guys, and it was hard to pass guys. But no, it was a good run. Just there was a few times where I stepped on it a little bit, and like I said, I apologize to those guys. But no, it was definitely fun.
Well, hey, Connor, congratulations, my man. Good P2. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank everybody from Gambler Motorsports, Burger Bar and Petro Plus, Ace One Construction, Pesky Penguins, you for doing the broadcast. I got to thank everybody from the league who helps run it, and admins and all that. I got to thank their sponsors as well. Everybody who sponsors Hometown Heroes, or at least a division or a car. So I got to thank you guys, and thank you for putting on the broadcast.
All righty, man. Well, congratulations. Like I say, I know that's not the way you want it, but it's the way it happened, and you finished P2 tonight. So congratulations, man, and I wish you more luck here in the 410s.
Thank you.
Now we'll pull up the winner here this evening. Get him up here with us. Steven, man, long time no see here at the top, but you're back here on Wednesday night, and you're back on the top. How's it feel?
It's good. We've had a decent week so far. I've kind of started racing a little bit more here as of, I guess this week. Race Sunday, Monday, and now Wednesday, so we might race again tomorrow too. But it's been a pretty good week so far. Pretty happy with how we've been running so far.
And I'm so jealous with not being able to run Sundays anymore. I picked up a broadcasting league, but oh man, I'm about to let that go. I miss that Sunday fun stuff, especially the road stuff. But Goldner, man, you're in a slider battle there, a couple laps with Dean. Were you ever really worried, or did you know that you wanted the slider line through 3 and 4? Because it seemed like that was maybe even, the preferred line. It seemed like that had a lot of speed in it.
Yeah, generally slider line at Eldora, especially if you can control where you get the slider, if you get in 3 and 4, generally you win the race. So that's kind of how I try to play it. It's I think Dean was better than me. He was kind of saving his stuff there until the last lap. I could feel him and hear him running right behind me. So gotta thank Connor, I think, for that deal. But yeah, pretty happy. Dean's definitely pretty quick. I haven't really been running this fixed stuff as of lately, so I'm struggling a little bit. It might not show, but I think Dean was definitely the best car tonight.
No, yeah, he definitely looked quick there. I think that joke might have put Connor on suicide watch, though, so you may want to drive down the street and check on him, Goldner, after you're done with this. But congratulations on the big win, man. Am I going to see you here in the 410s?
Oh, yeah, we'll be out here. We'll give her another shot. Hopefully we can talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Well, good luck. And before I kick you out of here, who you want to thank?
All the guys that Bandy built. My dad for racing with me tonight when no one else could make it. Velocity Race Designs, Fits Perfect Photography, Moon and Race Engines, Moon and Talco, Flatline Racing Bodies for the sponsorship for Hometown Heroes, and you guys for the podcast.
Well, hey, good run, Goldner, and I look forward to talking to you after this 410 race, man. Good luck.
But hopefully we're talking to you again.
There we go. So that's your winner there in the 30, Steven Goldner. And we're going to take a real quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're going to load the 360s up in the haulers, and we're going to get out the 410s. We'll be back with more action here for Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
these dollars had come together to support us. And we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
And we are back live on the Coast2Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. All by myself here for part 2. Connor has some things he needs to do, so Flatline Racing Body, Hometown Heroes 410s will be a solo venture by your boy here. And right now, Brian Moore Sr. at the top of the speed charts in the 410s. He's always a guy to watch out for in the sprint cars. Dino will be another one to watch out for here as we get ready to roll into qualifying. That should be coming here. Oh man, I'm a psychic. As the checkered flag waves and brings an end to tonight's warm-up session. We're going to get ready to roll into tonight's main event here. Is going to see something here on whoops, I accidentally muted the desktop sound here as these guys get ready to roll into lap number 1. Let's see who is the furthest out. I think it's Dino here. Let's 7-9. Brad Waite, though, purple through sector 2. Not for long, though. Dino takes that away. Somebody takes it now, though. If somebody rolls in, we're going to see all this start to change. Bob the Good here currently. We'll watch Dean Reynolds finish out his second lap. He's slower. He's not going to improve. Let's watch Bob the Good come around. Where does Bob go? Bob stays P4. Brian Moore Sr. moves up. Steven Goldner takes over. Quick time from Brad Waite by 0.02 of a second. See here, Barry Goldner coming around to finish up. Brian Moore Jr. here coming through 3 and 4 on lap number 2. Slower through sector 1, quicker through sector 2. Gonna stay P5, Brian Moore Jr. And everyone has all their laps in here. Connor will probably get slotted into a heat race, as I believe he did join the session, but not going to be here. So he's the only guy left to not put in a time. And Brian Moore Jr. going to just coast around here. Pull her into the pits. That 09 machine. As long as he stays out here, he gets to stay on camera. No. Brian's getting a little camera shy, and he pulls off. And well, this is where, no, we're not going to twiddle our thumbs here. They're going to advance qualifying. Good deal. And We're going to get ready to roll into heat race number 1. As we take a look at that starting grid. Starting on the pole. Oh, no, Connor is going to race. Okay, Connor is going to race, and I didn't realize that Connor was up here. I've muted myself in Discord, so you couldn't hear me talking. Well, Connor, good to have you back here.
Oh, it's great to be back. No, I had to do some things and thought it was going to take a lot longer, and I finished some things up around the house, and Steve Goldner sent me a little bit of a message that I am not able to relay to everybody, and it just fueled me up to not let him win, so I'm back.
All right, well, good luck here, Connor. I'm going to mute you as I read through this grid real quick. Starting on the inside of the front row, Devo to his outside, Brian Moore Jr. Brian Moore Sr. inside of row 2, Goldner to his outside. Inside of row number 3, Dean Reynolds to his outside, Barry Goldner rounding out the field. Connor Ross is getting ready to take that green flag. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. That overlay here is my apologies. I don't have that many cars on the track. My place to do that after qualifying. And we're back, and look at Devo. Oh, man. Hard wreck for Steven Goldner. He got into the inside wall, and he goes around, and Devo looks to pull away here as he's out front early. Brian Moore Jr. currently outpacing his old man. Brian Moore Sr. right behind him in the 558, not far behind Dean Reynolds, and then Barry Goldner. Connor Ross just hanging out in the back here. He's about a second and a half behind, so he's going to need some drivers up front to make a mistake if he wants to come at him. But we got a battle for the lead. Brian Moore Jr. peaks downstairs. We got a new leader at the line. Here we go, Brian Moore Jr., current leader in heat race number 1 as Devo looks to the basement. He tries to find a run coming out of 4. Can't find it. White flag in the air. One more trip around. Devo downstairs. Brian Moore Jr. upstairs as we go through 3 and 4 for the final time. Tries to make a move on the bottom, but can't get it done. Brian Moore Jr. wins heat race number 1, followed by Donovan Ross, Brian Moore Sr., Dean Reynolds, Connor Ross, Barry Goldner, and Steven Goldner. As well, we unmute Connor here, bring him back. We get ready for heat race number 2. What's the track like out there, Connor?
Oh, it's fast. It's really fast. Off the start, kind of put myself behind there. Dean Reynolds, I didn't realize he thought they were going, so jumped on and then got back on the binders pretty quick and had to get right back on it. So he popped a few wheelies, and that sent me back. But the track was just pretty fast around the top, and there was nothing I could really do. So it's definitely fast around the top. That's your main line right now.
Starting on the pole for heat race number 2, the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, into his outside, the 7 of Bob the Good. Instead of row number 2, the 56 of Randy Shreves, into his outside in the 814, Brad Waite. Greg Parmalee lines up on the inside of row number 3 in that 4 machine, into his outside, the Librarian, Brad Boyce. Watch the Steve King Foundation pace truck roll off coming out of 4. The field will fire on the green flag. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 underway. And SDK, whenever we're removing that back as we watch the battle up front. Bob the Good trying to hold off the heat. Now he's got a quick 814 behind him. An even quicker 56 down in the basement.
Yeah, Randy Shreves is really making that bottom work over everybody. He's getting a good run, but Brad Waite there with a little diamond line. He might get both of them here.
Yeah, he's going to send it in. Oh, not enough room. Gets into the side of the 513. Takes him, the 7, and Jeff Barker with him. And just like that, it's a 3-car race. Really a 1-car race here as we got 3 cars one by one. Jeff Barker, though, still rolling around in P4, but that's a tough break for the 513.
It definitely was, but I don't think Brad really knew he was up there and how high he was, and he just kind of did the same thing I did, just by accidentally threw that slider and didn't know that they were up there.
Oh, white flag in the air, final time around here as we're watching the 56 barrel down the backstretch here as he enters turn 3, rolls the bottom through 4. The checkered flag is high, and it's flying. Randy Shreves wins heat race number 2, followed by Pat Boyce, Greg Parmalee, Jeff Barker, Bob DeGood, and Brad Waite. With that, we'll take another quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we will be right back with tonight's final feature here on Flatline Racing Body's hometown heroes, the 410s at Eldora Speedway. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little over 40 seconds here left in warm-ups of the 8:15 of Brad Waite currently atop the charts. Toe, Stephen Golden in the 30 and Connor Ross in the 35. And him and I were talking about it a little bit. We both think medicine for this track is maybe burn it up a little bit. I see a lot of guys putting in a lot of laps on this track change involved.
Yeah, it is somewhat. I'm finding the bottom's a lot faster now, but it's still going to be top dominant, I think, for the first half of the race. Sorry, and then hopefully when the entrance and exit gets a little slicker and you have to use more throttle control, it'll change up a little bit.
Yeah, no Blake, no Patrick, and no Terry Landis here, so I'm not too sure. You may be the guy
Or Gavin.
Yeah, you may. Well, he
and
doesn't run
Ross.
the bottom too much. Gavin and Devo, they're pretty
Fair
talented.
enough.
They beat down the wall, but you may have to lead the charge here on the bottom. I don't know who else will carry the torch here this evening.
Jeff Barker is in the field, and
That's true.
you rarely ever see him run the top.
That's true. Jeff Barker isn't here. But as we get ready here to look at the starting grid here, let's take a look. Starting on the pole, the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. into his outside, Randy Shreves. Inside of row number 2, Devo Donovan Ross. Into his outside, the librarian Pat Boyce. Brian Moore Sr. on the inside of row number 3. Into his outside, Greg Parmalee. Row number 4 to the inside, Dean Reynolds. Into his outside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Barry Goldner to the inside of row 5. Into his dance partner on the outside, Brad Waite. Connor Ross to the inside of row 6. And to his outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Rounding out the field, your 360 feature winner in that 30 machine, Stephen Goldman. Well, Connor, you're the guest. I gave you last pick, or first pick last time, but we'll do it again here. Who you got?
This is a hard one. There's your 360, like you said, 360 feature winner is right behind me, and then you've got guys like Devo, the Moors, and Dino. So I'm gonna have to go with Dino. You know, I wrecked him last race, and hopefully he'll win this one.
All right. Well, I'm glad you picked him. Now I don't have to. You can't blame me when you wreck him. I'm gonna throw you on mute here, Connor. Good luck, kid.
Thank you.
I am going to make my pick. We're going to go with that low-hanging fruit outside of the front row, the 56 of Randy Shreves. I think he's going to get it done here as we go down the back stretch for the final time. The Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off the track, and the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 25 laps to play in the clay at Eldora Speedway. We're underway. Good jump there from 56 of from the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. able to make that inside line work. We heard Connor talk about there's a lot of speed down there on the bottom. Brian Moore Jr. likes it, but Randy Shreves likes the top of the grid a little better as they're side by side at the line. Dean Reynolds tries to make a move there, but can't get it to stick. All momentum falls off, and he's got the 35 of Connor Ross looking down from him. But a yellow flag is out here. Car around. Brian Moore Sr. brings out the first caution here at Eldora. As we'll get out of this camera here, we'll try to take a look and see what happens. Gets into the 79 and Dean Reynolds. Gets to the inside wall. Has to come to a stop. Doesn't want to pull up. It's a while till we get that yellow flag, but it does come. The first yellow flag of the evening here at the Big E, and Randy Shreves leads the way. I don't exactly know what that means, scientist, but it sounds good. I know it was referenced differently in South Park. That's where I know it from. Beefing up, getting that weight gain. I don't know what we mean by that, but we'll go with it. Here's the lights are still on, so I think this time by here the lights will go off and we should double it up here at Eldora. Brian Moore Sr. able to get back to the back, or tighten up to the field, I mean, after this caution. We've lost the lap. Still lead laps. Lights are off, and the 56 of Randy Shreves is going to choose the bottom here for this restart. Donovan Ross behind him, and Dino right behind him in row number 3. As the Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. The 56 of Randy Shreves brings us back to play here at Eldora Speedway. Great jump. Dean Reynolds tries to make a move there in the middle. He's able to get in front of the 41 of Pat Boyce, and he's able to get up to that top shelf. We're 4 wide at Eldora. Connor's stuck in the middle here. Now he's in the middle. 3 wide is, man, oh man, Stephen Goldner. Where is he? Where did he come from? That all-white machine, side by side here with the 41. Do you think it's Steve? He's gonna think about sending it in deep here. He's gotta lock it up. He gets sideways in front of the 35. They make contact. We saw it happen. Caution out for the second time here at Eldora Speedway. Connor Ross with nowhere to go. You'll see Stephen Goldner. He enters a little early, and this is exactly what Connor did in that earlier race when he got into Randy Shreves. But instead of locking up the brakes here, you know, he'd continued to go up, and Steven locks up the brakes. Connor already committed, gets into the side of the 30 machine, and he goes around. Does anyone make contact with the 35? No, they don't. Under caution for the second time. The 56 machine will still lead the way here at the Big E, and should have 19 laps to go when we take the green flag. And I'm not sure if a single file restart here. We'll have to see. Steve King Foundation pace truck lights are off, and it looks like we are going to go double file here. So probably our last attempt at a double file restart. Reynolds being able to fire right behind that leader. Wants to take as much advantage of this as we can. Let's see here. Let's see what Dino's looking at. Let's follow Dino on this restart as we watch the Steve King Foundation pace truck pull off. He's firing now. The 56 goes. Good jump by Randy Shreves. Let's see. Dino got a good jump as well. He sends it in. Dean Reynolds moves up to P2. Now he's got to put his head down. Now he's got to try to run down the 56, but caution is out once again here at Eldora Speedway. Bob DeGood involved. I believe Greg Parmalee maybe as well. Let's go back and see if we can figure out what happened here. Greg comes up in front of the 7, coming out of 2. Wild ride for the 4 of Greg Parmalee. Wow. Somehow lands on all 4. But caution is out here after that wild ride by Greg Parmalee. So we're going to be, we're due for a long green flag run here, guys. Starting to misbehave. They're going to run out of quick repairs and going to have to hit that behave button before too long and settle down. If they don't, Randy Shreves is nailing these restarts. It's going to take 2, maybe 3 laps to run down the leader after he gets a perfect restart. So got to be on it. Got to be ready to take advantage, and it looks like we are going to go single file from here on out. So Dean Reynolds is going to lose P2 after that excellent start. He's got to put his head down and try to find a way around Brian Moore Jr. So Randy Shreves followed the pace truck through 3 and 4. The Steve King Foundation pace truck will pull off. And the 56 of Randy Shreves is set to bring us to the green flag here at Eldora Speedway. 18 laps to go. Plenty of time for the guys to mix it up here, but Dino, he may not want to wait. Got a big run going into 3. Sticks it up on the top shelf. Brian Moore goes down low. Dino to the high side. They're side by side as they enter the corner. Brian sends it in. Can't get that run off, and Dino moves on up the P2. Ross trying to make that high side work. Stephen Goldner down there in the basement trying to find a way around that 35. He thinks about sending it up, but no room for the slider. Gotta fall back in line. Dean Reynolds started 7th, up to 2nd, up 5 spots in that 79. Hasn't had any luck to do it either. He's had to race his way up there, but Randy Shreves out to about a 2nd lead. Dean's going to have to be perfect here, or may even need a caution. Is the 56, man. He is pulling away. He is in a rocket ship out there. That boy's battling Brian Moore Sr. He looks to the inside. Connor Ross trying to follow him on by as well. Connor looking there 3 wide as they go through 3. Connor gets the 2-for-1 special. He slides up. Pat backs out. Brian Moore Sr. still down low. Senior slides up. Pat doesn't leave Connor a lot of room, but just enough as Connor sends it back in deep. He makes it clear. Here's Brian Moore Sr. Oh, they make a little contact after Connor gets into the outside wall. Connor hard into the wall again. No caution just yet as Brian Moore Sr. has to straighten it out, but man, that right front's broken. Here comes the leader, Randy Shreves. Brian Moore Sr., he is going to want to forget about Eldora. This has not been a fun night for him here this Wednesday. Mr. Wednesday night cannot catch a break. Finally, the caution comes out here at Eldora. And I believe it's Brian Moore Sr. again, just trying to nurse that thing back in there. It's broken. He's trying to drive it down to the pits, and I imagine he just can't turn it down. It's such a sharp thing. See him try. Nothing he can do. Caution for that. But if we go back to the original, let's take a look at that here. This is between him and Connor. You can see Connor gets into the outside wall. It bicycles on him. And when it does, you can see he's turning the wheels to the right, but when they're not down on the ground, you can't really turn. Gets into the side of Brian Moore Sr., and he is hard into the outside wall. Randy Shreves still out front, and this is maybe the break that Dean Reynolds needed. We had talked about him, being a second behind. This is going to allow him to pull the leash in a little bit here, and he'll restart P2 this time, so he won't have to work on Brian Moore Jr. We'll be able to see if he can put the reins in on that 56 and maybe try to get around him. But Randy Shreves, always so good in a sprint car. And when you bring the 410s here at Eldora, that 56 is something special. It is not going to be easy to get around Randy Shreves. You see. As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, the Steve King Foundation pace truck will pull off. 8 laps to go when we take the green flag at Eldora. Can Dean Reynolds find a way around the 56? Or can Randy Shreves hold on? Dino's got 7.5 more laps to do it. And here comes Steven Goldner in the basement. Thinks about throwing a slide job. Does get it for P3, but couldn't get the 2-for-1. Steven right back upstairs here. Oh, they get real close between him and Brian Moore Jr. Side by side, Steven gonna send it in on the top jump. He drives around. Here comes Brad Wakey, 14. Brad trying to mount a charge off the top as well here. Can't pull even with Brian Moore as they enter 3. So Brian's going to go up and shut the door. Brad's going to come down and counter down low. He's going to slide it into 1 and 2. And for now, he completes the pass on Brian Moore Jr., but Brian's not done yet. Big send into 3. He's going to throw it up in front of the 814. Brad counters back. It's Brian Moore at the line, but man, Junior, he's going to have to get on the horse. Dean Reynolds not really allowing Randy Shreves to pull away, but man, that 30's reeling them both in. Is Dean, if he wants to hold on to P2, he might have to pass for the lead because Steven Goldner is fast, and he's coming quick here on the top shelf through 3 and 4. When we come to the line, 2 more trips around. Steven Goldner down low, throws the slide job. He completes it on Dean. Now he goes back downstairs in 3 and 4. He's got to mount a charge here. He's going to have 1 lap to do it. White flag in the air. Randy Shreves, he's led this whole thing. Hasn't really felt any trouble, but here comes the 30. All over him. Slide job for the lead through 3 and 4. Randy Shreves counters back underneath, and Randy wins the 410s here. But Steven Goldner, boy, oh boy, did he make it interesting. And Dino rounds out the podium. Brad Waite 4th, and Brian Moore Jr. 5th. Man, that was a good race up front. I'll tell you what, I'm going to unmute Connor. He didn't get the view that we did, but man, Stephen Goldner, he almost took Randy's lunch money there. That was close.
Definitely sounded like a good race.
Give these guys a minute or two to catch their breath here. Let's see here. Can we get, let's find Dean Reynolds. There we go. And looks like we do have Dino in the waiting room. So, Connor, you got what it takes here?
Yeah, I can. Dean, you got a copy?
Connor Ross, how's it going, my friend?
I did this on purpose, Dino. Be nice.
Long time no see.
Yes, we meet again.
Yeah, well, you tried to wreck me, so it's okay. But no.
Oh, yeah.
All jokes aside, a little bit different than the 360 race. I was very top dominant. The entire 360 race. It started out, or it ended to be top dominant, but you could really run any line there in the early stage of the race. Just talk me through your race, because you started mid-pack, I think, right?
Yeah, I started 7th. I actually used the middle to move up a couple spots, and then once I got to 5th, I went right to the top, and then Pat Boyce was in front of me, and I think he spun his tires coming off 4, and I was like, oh, I am going to take him out. And then I moved to the inside, and I think I'm the one that got senior there, but it was either going to get Boyce or move away. And so I had to do that, and then I got up to 3rd, and then I just said, now I'm going to go up top. And, Junior gave me a lane up top. I was really surprised, so I got around the outside there. And then, boy, before that last yellow came out, that was disheartening watching Randy just walk away. Holy cow. He was strong, really good. But and then I heard Steven in my left ear. I said, well, he's going to be doing a slider. And once he did a slider, I was thinking of cutting down. And I said, no, I did that once already tonight. I'm going to stay here and stay on the podium.
Yeah, it's probably smart if I'm in the field. Don't run the cut down line. But no, congrats on 3rd place. Anybody you got to thank?
I got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports as always. It's a lot of fun with those guys. I know they're a modified team, but Anthony Morano's really getting good in sprints, and hopefully we get to see him a little bit more. Got to thank you guys in the booth, for doing the telecast and Hometown Heroes to have our friends and family watch at home. Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring, so you guys can be in the booth. And congratulations to Randy and Steven. Steven had a real good night, and he earned it. It's good to see Steven back where he belongs, and maybe one of these days I can go get him.
Well, hey, I'm trying not to choke on my
here
own
you have it
spit
from
here, Dino.
Easy now.
Third place, and
and I'd be remiss. I gotta say hi to Megan. She's actually on the couch right now, and I haven't seen her in 2.5 weeks. So you think I'm gonna iRace anymore after this?
I would hope not.
So,
well, hey, congratulations, Dino, man, and I think I'm doing tomorrow night too. So hopefully I get to talk to you some tomorrow night.
Good deal. We'll bring some cars out tomorrow to have some fun. I think I'll run one of the epilepsy cars tomorrow, and we'll have a good time.
All right, sounds
hate
good.
to say
Dino.
it, but if I'm in the field, you might not finish.
Easy now. You're owing me dinner at the Burger Barn. You know that.
Yes, I do. It goes both ways, but yes, I do. Yeah, no, congrats.
I'll buy breakfast, you buy dinner.
There we go.
Sounds perfect.
Good run,
All right,
Dino.
guys.
Congrats, my man.
Thanks so much.
And now we'll pull up the man who, so close. Steven, dude, you turned it on at the end. You kind of discovered something down there in the bottom. I mean, how were you hooking it up down there?
Yeah, car was really good. I don't know. The bottom of the restarts are just really good for me for some reason at Eldora. It just I think the top so far along that like the bottom's kind of equal on the initial restart, and then it kind of goes back up to the top. But I've kind of been playing that in my favor there the last 2 races, and it's really worked out for me. It's I was kind of, I don't know what it is about the 410s, but I turn in so early on entry for some reason. I don't know if it's the car or the motor or what, but I hit the wall in the heat race doing the same thing. I hit the wall in the feature doing the same thing, and I about hit the wall trying to pass Randy on the last lap. And I'm glad I didn't, because I would have hated to wreck him when he was leading. I'm assuming probably the majority of the race. I would have felt pretty bad about that. But yeah, car was great. Racing was fun. Can't wait to come back next week.
Yeah, now I know your entry there in the 3 and 4, the last lap, kind of compromised a little bit, but man, were you surprised? I mean, dude, he textbook countered you there. I kind of you played it perfect. You let that thing sit in the middle. You tried to fight the counter, but you left the one lane open, man, and he found it underneath you. Were you surprised?
Not really. I mean, my plan was just to send it in as hard as I can and get all the way up to the top. But with what happened was I almost hit the wall on entry of 3, and I kind of turned right a little bit. I got on the brakes, and I pretty well parked it on his front end, which I kind of felt bad about. But he was smart enough to be already crossing me over to try to get the win, so it didn't really matter for him too much. But I'm happy he won because I would have hated to wreck both our nights there.
Yeah, no, but I mean, at the end of the night, dude, you parking it on him there last lap. That's what you got to do, dude. I mean, you made it exciting and about a half a lap short, but great running this 30 tonight, man. A first and a second. Got to be happy about that, man. Getting Vanderbilt back on the podium. Congratulations, Steven. Who you want to thank?
I gotta thank all the guys at Vanderbilt. My dad for racing with me tonight. Ross at Velocity Race Designs is not a Velocity Race Design paint, just so you know. He does a lot better work than what that was. Photography, Moon Racing Engines, Moon Talco, Flatline Racing Bodies for the sponsorship for the Hometown Heroes. You guys for the broadcast, and Roger and everyone with the Coast2Coast Racing Leagues.
Yeah, this reminds me of the end of the year, time to sell out. You're going to upgrade next season paint job. That's what that paint job reminds me of. Is that the plan here?
Yeah, we got Ross working on something. I don't know what he's coming up with, but I might run this thing the rest of the season. It seems pretty quick, and we'll regroup, build a new car for next season, and get Ross at Velocity Race Designs to put a nice wrap on it for us.
Well, hey, great run, Steven. You're always one of my favorites to talk to, man. Congratulations on the P2. Hopefully I talk to you again next week, brother. Or maybe tomorrow night if you decide to run tomorrow night.
I'm going to run tomorrow night. I don't think I'll be talking to you unless a miracle happens,
Hey,
but you never
get
know.
Beagle to coach you up, man. He's been wheeling those things. I'll tell you what.
I know. I've been coaching him up in the sprint car, and it's been working until like the last couple laps, and then he always throws it away. And hopefully he can give me some pointers and modified so we can hopefully be up running competitive.
You better not have been coaching him up Monday night when he was behind me, because he was catching me there for a little bit.
I know, and then he put it in the wall, and I'm like, oh, just run fifth now, because you pretty well screwed it. His front end was all out, and it's 2 weeks in a row where he's done that. But he's a heck of a lot of fun to race with and hang out with in Discord, so that makes him a lot better.
Well, for sure, man. You put on a great show here tonight. Congratulations once again, and man, hopefully I talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good.
Now we'll pull up the winner here. We made him wait long enough. Randy Shreves, man. Dude, you led the whole thing, but I'll tell you what, that couldn't have got any closer on the last lap, man. Talk to us about 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting one. I thought Steven was going to take it from me there, and I don't know. I just knew that last lap I had to go low and try something there. I just knew the top 3 and 4 there wasn't really it, and I knew he was going to try it, so I was like, yeah, I better get ready for the crossover here, and kind of timed it just right there, and managed to hang on.
Yeah, talking about that crossover, I mean, Steven talked about it a little bit, and he almost gets into that inside wall. So his original intentions are to go in there, send it up against the wall, but doesn't carry the speed and basically perfectly, parks it right on your nose. But I mean, you go in there with the game plan of, you mentioned, you already know you got to get down to the bottom, and you think that's the difference maker, because I'll tell you what, when he slows down on your nose there, dude, I thought you were done, but you hike that thing under him and you find the only lane that's there.
Yeah, he definitely kept me on my toes there, man. And I'm just glad to pull it off. He made it an awesome race. Like I thought there at the beginning, I was just gonna walk away with it, and the top felt really good tonight, and I just wanted to keep it up there all night. And I don't know, just 3 and 4, it just wasn't there anymore. And there at the end, I just knew I had to get low, and seen Steven there, and He definitely made it interesting. That's for sure.
Well, man, you put that KSR Builders 56 on the top steps of Victory Lane. Congratulations, Randy. Who you want to thank, my man?
For sure, want to thank everybody at Coast to Coast for everything they do. You at Shaggy TV, you do an awesome job every week, man. I love going back and watching it. And I want to thank KSB Builders. I want to thank my son Dylan Shreves for painting my car, and Flatline Racing Bodies.
On here, I said KSR Builders. I don't know how to read a B from an R. I'm sorry there, Randy. My bad. I tried to do something nice and I blew it anyways. But hey, congratulations, man. Big win. And, well, you know how to drive a small block and a big block. So maybe I'll be talking to you tomorrow night. What do you say?
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right. Congratulations, Randy. And that's your winner there in the 56. Going to bring home the final race here of Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes. But, Connor, all in all, man, I'd say the track wore out pretty good, and we got a pretty good race there in the 410s.
Yeah, it was awesome. Even in the 360s there where you could run some different lines on the leaders and definitely catch them and be a part of that race. But no, that was an awesome and exciting finish to both.
Well, on behalf of my partner, Connor Ross, and everyone at the Coast2Coast Racing League, Roger Craig, all the admins, I am Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, signing off for Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes. And, oh my God, I drew a blank there. Tune in with me tomorrow night, Thursday Night Thunder. Will kick off at around 6:45, 7 Eastern, so make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. Have a good evening.